Hello.
Well, hello, and welcome to Review That Review. We are the podcast that is dedicated to reviewing
Reviews.
That is Chelsey Dawn with a cold.
And that is Trey Gerald, seeming much better.
I feel back to normal.
Good.
So normal and not normal together, regardless. We are
the Review Queens.
That's right. But first, Trey.
Yes.
I imagine that you have a plethora of things that you'd like to get off your chest coming out of this flu season and all these things not leading the witness. But would you like to
lodge a complaint?
Why, yes, I would. So today, nothing to do with health.
Okay.
I would like to lodge a complaint against choosing the correct electronic signature for your mood, for the energy, for the atmosphere of the document. We are now in a culture where a lot of signatures are no longer done by hand, but are done electronically. And there are varying websites, applications, interfaces. So some you can do it with your mouse and you can actually do your own signature, but it's like with a mouse. So that's not right. And then even if you do it like on an iPad with like a stylus pen, like it still is not, there's a lag. It's never the same as like handwriting to paper. And then there are other applications where you type your name and it gives
and
you
then
like,
it puts it in cursive.
It gives you like 3 or 4 different options. And then even for like our American government, when I was doing a legal document for like a W-2, you had to type it and then they gave you options. So my complaint is I never know which one to pick, because do you want it to be very nice and professional and calligraphy looking? Or do I want to have like a little more of a wink, like it's cutesy, like Comic Sans? But then if it's like a W-2, I don't want it to be cutesy. But then, I don't know. This occurred to me the other week because I had to do this. And I was really stopped for a minute. And I'm like going through back and forth, like the 3 to 5 options. And then I'm like, why am I wasting energy on this? Like, it doesn't matter. And then also, isn't it so weird? The whole point of a signature was that it was like binding, but it's not my signature. But like we've just like given up on that because it's easier. I don't know. That's my complaint. Can you commiserate with me choosing the appropriate signature for an electronic form?
Okay. I also have OCD.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I gotta say, Trey, this isn't one that bugs me.
Really?
Personally. I just pick the signature or sign my signature. Honestly, I don't even pick the font. I just, whatever font they have there is there. And like, I move on with my day. So
okay, that's good.
You've actually found an OCD that like I don't have. I'm hoping I don't catch it. Because I got a lot of them. But this one, I don't know, listeners, Royal Squad, let us know. Does this bother you? Like, is this something you think about? I mean, like, I will say it's annoying when I have to like write it with my finger because it's just like, what is that? Like, honestly. But at the same time, I'm like, it looks like a squiggle and that's what you're expecting it to look like. And so moving on. Super curious if this is something that other listeners have experienced, Trey. I want you to feel seen.
Well, thank you.
I just have to be honest.
I appreciate that it's not an issue for you because that kind of is like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel better. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
For sure. Yes, of course.
Thank you. Well, Chelsey, since we had differing opinions, would you like to go head to head?
Let's go head cold to head cold.
All right. Before we do, though, this is just a quick friendly reminder, all of you watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, drop us a little comment. We really want to know what made you cringe the most, what made you laugh, what made you gasp.
Yeah, please. Let us know. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. All right. So, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Assess that kvetch.
All right. Yes. So today is another versus episode, which means we are going to be covering both a 1-star and a 5-star on the same topic.
That's right. For this versus episode, Trey has selected the 1 star. And I have selected the 5-star. So to determine who reads first, we got to flip that quarter. And Trey, it is your turn. Flip it. Do it. Get it.
All right, I'm going to say tails.
Okay.
And it's heads. So,
Okay.
Chelsey, you're going to go first. But let me tell you all what we are doing today. So, in a very special edition, today we are collecting data from both ends of the spectrum of Yelp reviews for a company called Royal Moving and Storage. Very
couldn't
apt.
it be more perfect?
At the time of this recording, okay, so I wrote our script a week ago, but I did go to Yelp just now, and this is no longer accurate. A week ago, there were 925 reviews. Today, at the time of recording, there are 921 reviews on Yelp, with an average score of 4.8 out of 5. Now, I'm not going to lead the witness, but I'm dropping that tidbit there. All right.
Okay.
So, according to from the business section on Yelp, established in 2009, Royal Moving 7 Storage, Inc. is a company born out of the combined 25 years experience of our crew leaders. Since day one, our movers provided great customer service along professionalism. And today, we get most of our jobs from referrals and repeated customers. Royal Moving Co. provides necessary moving equipment from dollies to the right size truck for your move. Royal Moving and Storage, Inc. provides professional moving services in SoCal area. Our movers can handle any moving job, whether you are moving in your neighborhood or across the state. Royal Moving Company, just so you know, that's the 4th different name of this company. Okay? And this is copy-pasted from Yelp. Is here for you. We offer moving services all over Los Angeles and Orange counties. We can move you from Los Angeles area to San Francisco Bay Area. Royal Moving Company offers great weekday moving specials at discount rates. So, with all of that copy-pasted background information.
That's a lot of SEO, I think.
It's a lot of different company names. Not that I'm leading the witness.
Oh my goodness.
We're on the 5-star. So,
okay.
Why don't we go ahead and do the show?
Let's do it.
Review that review.
All right. So as Trey mentioned, I have the 5-star review. So we're going to start things off on a positive note.
Woo!
Despite some of the Easter eggs that Trey might have just planted for us.
Oops.
We're going to go in with a clean slate. We're going to pretend we're not going to pretend, because we went to the site. We did our due diligence. We read about the thing, and then we decided, all right, I'm going to do a little more digging, and I'm going to look into the reviews. And I come across this 5-star review right here. This review is written by TL from Los Angeles, California. 5 stars. So, last month, I found out I had to move out of my office that I had been in for over a decade.
Oy.
While my suite mate was in Florida for a medical trial for his leukemia. And I had to do it in a week.
Oof.
It was obviously very stressful to be working full-time and moving 2 people. And I only had a day or so to do my research on what movers were 1, in my low price range. 2, had great reviews. 3, available to do the move quickly. 4, had a transparent website. And 5, had storage capability. I spoke to a variety, and Royal won me over. They were so organized to deal with and had gotten in touch with me immediately via Yelp and via text. Thank you, Nicole. And arranged for me to have my office furniture moved that Thursday, 4 days from my call, and offered me a free month of storage.
Wow.
I had let them know all of the parameters and that I was in an elevator building, and they kept me updated the whole way through. My moving team Royal King was Jose, who was so great. Not only was he on time, professional, he was crazy thorough in how he wrapped the furniture. I heard that came from the training of his manager. Funny, sweet, and kind. That was such a lovely thing to have in a very overwhelming week that had changed my life in such an unexpected fashion. The overall move ended up costing me more than I thought, not from price gouging, but just from care that Jose put in for each piece of furniture, pick attached. He even stopped his teammate when he thought the wrapping was not thorough enough. My Fremont storage is coming to an end and still looking for a new space, but so relieved I got the Royal treatment from Royal and have already recommended them to 2 other people for their moves. Would work with them anytime. And then there is a picture of Royal King Jose wrapping like a filing cabinet or something like that. And it says Royal King Jose as the caption. So there is a quick little reply.
There's a reply.
It's short and it doesn't change things that much, but I just figured I'd read it now. It's written by Vlad L., business owner. It's great to move people to help them take the next step of their life because we understand we're not just moving furniture and personal belongings, we're moving people's lives. So, what do you think of TL's review?
All right, I took so many notes on this. I actually love the review. I think it's it feels like it's like a template of the emotional journey that TL went on. I feel like keywords are popping out to me, like organized, both in like the background of like, oh my God, I've been in this office for like a decade. My coworker is not here. I have to move for both of us. The amount of time, I only have a week. Like I have to do all this research in one day. Then I have to get on the phone. And then the organization, once, you know, the Royal King came and like the move, like that's really popping out, like how stressful it is organizing. And then also communication keeps popping out because TL says they were able to like get on the phone immediately. They were able to like communicate like during the process of the day of the move. And I just saw this and we've never really talked about this on the show, but TL mentions like how quickly they were able to communicate with the business. And on Yelp today, as we are recording, it says the response time is 100% and the estimated time is 10 minutes. So this business is obviously online and they are on the phone, like, which like when you are stressing and they say like moving is like equally as stressful as death or something.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's like second to death or something like that.
So I really do hear that. And then obviously the unique situation of like needing storage. And then if you can like build in a deal or if it's part of the plan or whatever for like a month free, like obviously the value here is seeping. This is like, it's not necessarily new information, but the unique information that's not even really that unique because it feels like I can relate to that. So like,
totally.
I empathize with TL's response of like, here's the stress. And then like, I was able to be taken care of. I have one question towards the end, and this is maybe just something to consider. We don't need the actual details, but like, I appreciate in a 5-star that TL is like, you know, I have a low budget. And then they say like, okay, so full disclosure, like it did end up costing more than I was expecting. But that's because of like the incredible attention to care. So my thought was, is that because TL tipped? Or I don't know how the prices are established. Like, are you paying for the length of time of the move? Because TL is pointing out it's not price gouging. It's because of the care. He even stopped someone when he didn't think it was wrapped enough. So of course, like, because I've been in the 1-star section and I'm just looking at things cynically, my question is like, is that the price gouging? Like, are you being charged for a 6-hour move, but it takes 8 hours because they have so much care? I don't think that's the case.
I do know just from like background about the company that they charge, I believe it's a minimum of 3 hours and they charge by how many movers you have. and then they estimate the amount of time based on like whatever you tell them, but they do say like, this is an estimate.
Correct.
And, you know, like oftentimes I do feel like, I mean, they're in this business, but I do feel like people even, we'll get into my move later, but people like underestimate how much shit they have.
Oh my God, always.
Like even when you call, because there's always like 5 boxes at the end that you were like, oh God, we got to pack all this stuff, you know? Right. And so I don't know.
No, I think every moving company is an estimate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just love this review because I love how I really trust TL with the research component. Like they really laid out, like I was looking for something specific, including good reviews, including a good price, including like available quick turnaround, like including all of these, you know, a transparent website.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
You know, I mean, I think that like, I'm like, wow, TL really did the homework for me.
It occurred to me when you read it, I was like, I do trust them. It doesn't seem shady.
Right.
But I did think like, oh, well, I could just like use their research because like I trust TL.
Exactly.
Right.
Which I think is huge in terms of like being able to trust a reviewer, because it is like, I wouldn't say it's Pollyanna. It like has a lot of like different shades to it, but obviously it is a 5-star review. So I think it's hard to strike that balance of trust.
It doesn't feel Pollyanna to me either. Like it feels like they're realistic. Like
they're like you said, they were honest. Like they kind of did what we love in a 5-star review, which is that they were like, it did take longer. I did pay more. I did like, this isn't just like you know, everything is perfect kind of review.
But you know what? The tone of TL's review is like paying more than they anticipated was worth it.
Right. That's because it's like if it was, they have a tight budget. If it was so extravagant that like it blew through their budget, they would have said that.
That would have been
so I feel like it couldn't. It was more, but it probably was like, like it was more, but it was so worth it, kind of more.
Spelling grammar sounds perfect and fine.
Yeah, I think really good. I love that we learned that they're called Royal Kings.
Yes, I saw that in the reviews as well. Like the lead whoever. I also love that TL just like drops that like Jose like was so good because of the training for the manager. Like that's such a random. I'm like, what?
I know that was kind of weird.
There's probably such a conversation about the rapping, and it's like the attention to it.
They talked about it, and he was like, my manager was really like diligent about this.
The humor.
What do you think about the 2 friends?
Oh yeah. Well, I wrote that down. Like they have, and that's part of their background info too. It's like referrals and word of mouth, which like my husband owns a wedding photography company, and like he's never done any publicity ever because it's all referral.
All word of mouth.
That really is like worth its weight in gold.
I mean, I think if I was TL's friend, I'd probably use the company.
Yeah, I think I would too. I mean, I would definitely like do my due diligence, but like they are obviously...
They obviously did due diligence.
Correct. Humor, entertainment. I feel like the picture of Jose is humorous. And like, I mean, I feel like emotionally stirred. Like I'm on the roller coaster from the get. So that's entertaining to me. It feels engaging, I would say. Common fluke typical. I mean, it's a 4.8 out of 900 reviews. I mean, it's seemingly very common and typical.
I think so. Well, you'll let us know on the episode on Friday, but
yes,
I think so.
And then impact deal breaker. I mean, I can talk about it more in the crowning, but I do feel impacted. I feel like TL's trustworthy, and I feel like there's no reason, there's no red flag there. I appreciate the photo as well, because so often, especially in the 1 stars, the photos are like scratches or damages or like annoying stuff. And it's harder when things go so great to include a photo. So I love that it's like of the Royal King, which I think is cute.
Great. I'm going to talk about my impact in the crowning. I think I'm going to hold.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Well, before we crown.
Yeah.
Chelsey, it's game time.
You know it. It is game time, Trey. And this game is called Move It or Lose It. Okay. Royal Squad and Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Moving is all about making sure that your belongings survive the journey. Okay. So I'm going to describe some tricky items to pack, and you're going to tell me how to do it right or risk losing it forever.
Okay.
Okay. So if it breaks, you're going to lose it. So I'm going to describe an item and its packing options.
Mm-hmm.
Trey and Royal Squad, you're going to pick the correct method. For each correct answer, you're going to get a point. And if Trey gets it wrong, he's going to face a consequence. And then the bonus round will up the stakes a little bit with a more challenging scenario. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. First up, we have a set of delicate wine glasses. How do you pack them so they survive the move? Do you A, stack them flat with bubble wrap in between? B, wrap them in bubble wrap and stand them upright in a box? Or C, place them loosely in a box filled with packing peanuts?
I don't think it's A. I'm intrigued by B, but I think that if you stand them up, like if like the box, like, do you have peanuts in B? There's no mention of peanuts in B, right?
No mention of peanuts. Wrap them in bubble wrap and stand them upright in a box.
Because see, I would think you would do them like in layers, like not like you would do like, what's the wording of this that my hands are doing?
Stack.
Like alternating. Like you would flip them.
Okay.
Like, you know how you can do binders the opposite way so that it becomes straight? Yeah. But the packing peanuts, I'm going to say C, packing peanuts.
Okay. Final answer.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, Trey. The correct answer is B. Wrap them in bubble wrap and stand them upright in a box. Why? Because glasses are strongest at the rim. So standing them upright reduces pressure on the weaker bowl area. Bubble wrap provides cushioning. Okay, Trey, you have a consequence.
Okay.
So you have to pretend that you're at a fancy dinner and you're serving wine in solo cup, and you have to convince everyone that this is the new trend.
Okay.
Okay.
The wedding, you said? No, fancy dinner.
Fancy dinner party.
Oh, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Hello, hello. I have a brand new trend from France. Solo cup, have some wine. Cheers. Drink it, y'all. I'm gay. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, I'm sold.
Thanks.
All right, I love it. Okay, next, we have a box of books. It's classic, it's heavy. What's the best way to pack them? Is it A, stack them flat in a small box? B, stand them upright like on a bookshelf in a large box? Or C, scatter them loosely across multiple boxes?
Okay, I don't think it's scattering. I think a small box might be smarter because it's going to get really heavy. But I think if you do them flat and stack them, you're not going to be able to get as many. I think if you go like a bookshelf, then you probably could put some like you could do like 2 and 2 and 2 like in front. I don't know. I think it might be B, but I'm going to say A. Yay!
That is correct. Flat stacking prevents spines from warping, and small boxes prevent the weight from becoming unmanageable, which I've experienced myself. Okay, Trey, you would have had to act like a librarian scolding someone for returning a book with mysterious stains on every page.
Ew.
Dramatically, but you saved yourself from that.
This is the library.
All right. How do you pack a large mirror to avoid 7 years of bad luck?
Aye.
Do you A, wrap it in moving blankets and place it flat in the truck? B, cover it in bubble wrap and lean it diagonally against a wall? Or C, tape cardboard over the glass and stand it upright in a box?
These are so tricky because I feel like my movers, we had moving blankets, but we also had cardboard and tape. My first thought was like, oh, tape it. But when you get a picture frame delivered, it's in cardboard or flat. Like I'm wondering, similar to the wine glass, like if you lay it flat, I'm going to say, I think it's because if you do cardboard, it could get shattered. I'm gonna say A. Oh God.
Okay. I think you gotta trust your first instinct, Trey.
It's C.
It's C.
Yeah.
So tape cardboard over the glass and stand it upright in a box. Why? Because standing it upright reduces the risk of cracking under pressure, and the cardboard adds an extra layer of protection. Okay, Trey, give us your best impression of someone panicking after breaking a mirror. Oh my God, I love you. Okay. Here is a little bit of a tricky one. Okay. A box of open liquids. How do you pack them safely? A, tape the lids and place them upright in a sealed plastic bag. B, seal them in bubble wrap and lay them sideways in a box. C, leave them loose in the box to save space.
A.
That's correct.
Oh, good.
I feel like that was a little obvious. Okay, tape the lids, place them upright in a box because this minimizes spills while keeping liquids contained in case of leakage.
Got it.
All right, this is your bonus round try. If you get this right,
well, I'm tied right now, so
you have 2 and 2.
Yeah.
If you get this right, you get 2 points. Okay.
Okay.
All right, this is a bonus round. So, Royal Squad, Trey, you got a flat screen TV, but oh no, you threw away the original box. How are you going to pack it? A, wrap it in bubble wrap and lay it flat in the truck. B, cover it in moving blankets and secure it upright against a wall. C, place it screen down in a box with foam around the edges.
I'm going to say B.
That's right.
Well, I was thinking of the answer for the mirror. It's similar.
Yes.
Right.
So TVs are safest upright to avoid screen damage. Moving blankets provide padding, and securing it prevents tipping. Good job, Trey. Okay, so because...
Oh, I got it right.
You got it right. So because you added that 2 points to your score, you are... Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so you're a box office backup, Trey. You didn't get 100%, but you were almost there. Royal Squad, but Royal Squad, where did you land? Okay, so if you got all 5 correct, you would be a packing prodigy, the true star of the moving truck. And if you scored a 0 to 2, don't feel bad. You've just lost it all. It happens to the best of us. But Trey, you're a box office backup. We'll use you.
Yay!
We'll use you in a pinch.
Awesome.
Good job, Trey.
Thank you.
Review that review.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was a fun game. Thank you for creating that.
Of course.
All right. Let's go back to TL.
Yes.
All right. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 0 to 5 crown cards. In an effort to be fair and not influence one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Oh my goodness. 5 crowns, 5 crowns. TL, you are a double review queen. You've done what very few have done. Trey, you go first. Tell TL why they're a review queen.
Well, we really broke it down. I just feel that TL, like, what's the word? I want to say, like, literarily. What's the word? Like,
sure.
Like, narratively. They put me in their shoes because, like, from the first sentence, I felt stressed and, like, worked up and, like, overwhelmed by the experience. And they do a very good job of explaining how Royal Moving and Storage came in, saved the day, did it quickly, and like led in such a like high stress situation. And like, let's not forget, it was over a decade in this office. Like, just the amount of like paperwork and dust and random knickknacks and like holiday gifts and like all of this crap that just gets accumulated, like just overwhelming. So and because they included a photo, that's always going to get more points for me. And like, it's the spelling grammar is great. Like, they just really ticked all the boxes. So TL, I said 5 crowns. Congratulations. Chelsey, why did you also say 5 crowns?
Okay, well, let's just start with all the good that TL did. I mean, this was a really solid review. We gave us lots of points. We really did our research. It was a fantastic review. But the reality is, I've sort of been bearing the lead here. I am, in fact, one of the 2 friends that are mentioned at the end of this review, because Taylor, who is my acting coach, wrote this review, recommended them to me, then sent me her review, and I read it, and I was like, done, sold. Why would I look any further besides the fact that it's called Royal Moving, which just felt appropriate for a review queen. I just thought Taylor Tay did such a great job convincing me that this was the right company. And I do trust them. And I do know that they do their research and they're just that kind of a person. So it was a no-brainer for me. And I think that they do listen to the podcast on occasion. And I got to say, I think it's paying off because
my gosh,
this is a very good review. Tay, excellent. You're a double review queen. Thank you for your help with my move. Look at where I am. I'm in my new studio space, my new home. And this is thanks to you. So what a fabulous review queen.
I feel duped, but it's also very funny because if Taylor has listened to the show, like it is funny that obviously like I felt like all of the points we talk about were really like in the review. So that's very funny. It's like the snake eating its tail.
That's right. But understood the assignment and like stuck the landing.
Impactful. Did you have the same Royal King, Jose?
I had a totally different Royal King, but I had a great experience. I had to just like personal quick testimonial here. I had to change my move very last minute because there was a little bit of a snafu with the like timing of everything. And they put me such at ease. Their communication was stellar. I could text them at any time, call them at any time. They did all of the follow-ups. They came. They were super efficient. I had a great experience.
Love it. And
so
last
Royal
question.
Movers, as far as I'm concerned, 5 stars, 5 crowns.
Is Taylor's Yelp handle TL?
Yeah, because their name is Taylor Loeb.
Got it. But is it TL or are you?
It's TL. No, I wasn't burying the lead there.
Got it.
It was really TL, but it just happens to be.
All right. Well,
my good friend Tay.
Well, congratulations, Tay. Congratulations, TL. Did a great job.
Yes, that was great. Double review queen.
But now that we have covered the 5-star,
yes,
it's my turn. I have a 1-star Yelp review. Okay. Now, mine is written by someone named Samira A.
Okay.
In North Hollywood.
Okay.
And it's actually an updated review.
Oh.
And I want you to know that there are 2,103 not currently recommended reviews. Let me repeat that number. Normally, there will be like 90. There are 2,103 not currently recommended reviews on Yelp, and Samira is one of those.
Oh my God.
So
I'm shocked.
If you want to get all of this tea, the balancing act part 2, the flip side of Royal Moving and Storage.
Oh my God. Okay.
You got to wait till Friday because it drops Friday.
Or if you don't want to wait till Friday, you can join us on Patreon at reviewthatreview.com/Patreon, and you can watch it right now.
Chelsey, you're so right. What a beautiful benefit of joining our Patreon, supporting the show, getting exclusive content, an exclusive weekly after show podcast where we do additional content. And on these verses, you get to hear part 2 immediately, right now. Right now.
Yeah. Amazing. Go ahead and click on over to there.
We would love it.
Go click on over to there.
Click on over to that.
click on over to that.
All right.
reviewthatreview.com/Patreon. Okay.
Well, we
So
did
we
it,
did it.
Queen. That is another round on the Are You a RQ Ferris wheel of bearing the lead about your friend who's a review queen.
That's right. Your good friend might just be a review queen. You never know. You should send us yours and your friends' reviews. Thank you for joining us today. If you like what you heard, please tell a friend, maybe a friend that writes reviews.
If you did not like what you heard, please tell an enemy, maybe an enemy who writes reviews.
That's right.
So as stated before, on this week's after show, we're going to be rating and reviewing the opposite end of the review spectrum for Royal Moving and Storage. We are also taking a spin on the iconic merry-go-round.
Yes. And I wonder why this was said. You wrote a 5-star review. Like, what do you mean you were coerced? Did they have a gun to your head? Like, how could they possibly coerce you to lie about the company and then also like double down on your lie by recommending these two people by name? It feels a little bit weird that we would have this shift.
Yeah, I wonder too. Well, Queens, Royal Squad, remember,
Ignore the haters. You're a queen.
gender non-specific queen.
That's right. Love you.
Love you all. Bye. Sign up directly on Apple Podcasts to hear our weekly members-only after show. Unlock additional benefits when you become a Patreon member at reviewthatreview.com/Patreon. Follow us on all the socials at The Review Queens and join our mailing list at reviewthatreview.com. Our kvetch line is open 24/7 at 1-850-REVIEW-0. You never visit, you never write. Give us a call now.
I can't believe as a review queen, I missed that 2000 whatever. That's kind of shocking and embarrassing. But also, I had a personal referral, so I can't wait to hear it.
I mean, that's going to be an interesting conversation in part two, because as I also said at the top, I wrote the script a week ago, and in that amount of time, there have been 4 reviews that have been removed.
Interesting.
All right, Queens, we'll see you on Friday or right now if you're on Patreon.
That's right. See you over there.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, Queens. Click here to subscribe and click here for more videos.